is some editing that makes this unusual, but the fact is that they claim that the stripes have disappeared one at a time, and of course they didn't.
I mean, I can see them disappearing at one at a time.
Why do you say that when that's...
Hold on, wait, just wait.
You just
wait a second.
started
Don't
this.
get excited. Don't get excited, Dan. Hold on. I'm still watching it. Bro, I can't tell. It looks like you see 3. I can see 3, but then it's zoomed out, though. Why'd they zoom out and try to act like it's disappearing, though? They should have stayed zoomed in.
It doesn't matter. It's not the only camera shot. It's just this is... So
well, this little clip isn't doing you justice right here.
The point, well, it does because it includes the entire story. What I'm trying to tell you is that the dude at the end that says, that's because of the curvature of the Earth, claims to have the footage of it actually disappearing one stripe at a time. In fact, there is no footage of that. He's claiming that it exists, and they had their own documentary, and they didn't include that. You got to remember the news.
Dan, the thing you posted. Hold on, the thing you posted, Dan. The first shot you see 3 stripes. The next shot you see 2 stripes.
Well, I don't have to pretend to think that you're seeing that, but in reality, there is 6 stripes. You can count to 6, right? And the red one on the bottom is never completely obscured. Ever.
I mean, I can see it completely obscured in the video that you posted.
Okay, well, you're the only motherfucker that thinks that, dipshit.
You can see 6. Hold on, let me find a timestamp. All right, just relax, Dan. Let's go over this.
What a maniac you are.
Just hold on. You're telling me the first shot, I can only see 3 stripes. Like,
I'm telling you that there's no shots that show any portion of the red stripe completely obstructed, much less the other stripes disappearing one at a time, like the fucker says.
I know you said there's supposed to be 6 stripes, right?
Dude, I can count to 6. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I can only see 3 stripes. There's the first one. I see 3 stripes.
Your head is up your ass. Sorry. Count to 6, dude. Don't make me fucking teach you how to count. Fuck. This is the same bullshit people pull. They're like, I don't know.
I gotta be high as hell right now.
It's like, yeah, you fucking do.
Dan, I can only see 3 stripes, bro. Like, am I tripping? I don't know. I'm high as fuck right now, so maybe.
Yeah.
But I dead ass only see 3 stripes.
That's really cute.
I'm gonna take a screenshot. I'm gonna take a screenshot for you. Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. This is what I'm seeing right here.
I'm telling you, I can count to fucking 6.
We're gonna count them together then. We're gonna teach me how to count right here. Hold on, I'm gonna post a screenshot.
Fuck you, stupid ass.
Let's stay in good spirits, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, how? How am I supposed to stay in good spirits? This fucking idiot. It's like every shot from every distance, from every height. It's like, oh, I only see 3. Like, what? A fucking moron. I'm supposed to entertain it. Fucking so stupid.
Dan, teach me how to count. How many stripes are there?
There's fucking 6, idiot. Jesus, can't even keep track. And where is your doubt coming from?
Hold on. My post didn't go through. This is coming from the video.
Where is your doubt coming from?
Okay, look, you posted it. Teach me how to count. The shot on the left, I see 3 stripes.
A shot in the left.
Yeah, the thing you posted, I see 3 stripes.
I'm sorry for you, dude. I've posted many pictures of it.
There's one red one on the top. Hold on, Dan. Count them. There's one red one on the top, right?
No, there isn't, dipshit.
You got to relax, Dan. I'm trying to figure out why you're seeing...
fucking stupid. What can I say?
I mean, I may be too high. Stupid, definitely not.
Well, definitely too stupid to count to 6.
All right, just hold on.
Are you aware of the color white? Does that mean anything to you? The color white, like a roller of
Oh, you're
white
counting the white as a strip.
paint.
All right.
Yeah, it's a
All
6-foot flag with 6 1-foot fucking.
You're counting the
Yeah, it's a
white ones
solid
as
white
stripes.
rectangle with
Wow,
3 color
bro.
bars. Yeah.
Idiot.
All right, you got me, Dan. I am high as fuck right now. I prefaced with that. I led with that. So, okay. They're
So
saying the bottom one that.
regardless of observer height, regardless of flag distance, the observation didn't change. That's what you guys need to know. Hey, B-ball, that's what is irrefutable and unusual, because as it moved away, regardless of the overall conditions, it should still have dropped. It should drop to a 2-foot drop at some point.
Yeah, you really can.
And besides,
I'm gonna
the
have to
fucking
read my notes.
horizon can't be visible behind the blocked stripes
Hold
if
on
the
before we go
horizon
this
was
one.
blocking the stripes. So
Hold
that's
on,
the
Dan.
other claim that's totally pathetic, is they're claiming that the curvature blocked the stripes one at a time, yet you could see the shoreline behind it.
Jeremy, he's
Yeah.
talking about all the stripes,
Yeah,
not
we
just.
so we figured it out, B-ball. You're 5 minutes
We
behind. You know.
figured it out. He's getting
Yeah,
good. People, he's
Me and Dan figured it out. Yeah,
no.
me and
You
you.
were gatekeeping because you are lame.
What
Oh,
are the implications of this, Dan?
That Jeremy shouldn't be allowed to mod
No.
as a disruptor.
Of the stripes, though.
What?
What are the implications of the stripes not disappearing? What are the implications?
That regardless of the refractive conditions, the fact is, on a globe, the 1-foot observer and the 6-foot observer should have seen different things. And as it moved from 1 to 3 miles, the entire observation should become less visible.
What are the overall implications, though, Dan? Just give it to us straight.
Flat earthers don't even have the guts or the strength to take a toy boat or anything floating or any replication of this, because it would ensure the fact that the media is the problem, because this is
Sky did
great
it.
evidence of
Dan.
good work and it's being misrepresented by the media.
Dan, we took the toy boats. Sky Free's done tons of shit. Pebbles in the pond. We've done shit here. I'm using that word very loosely right there.
Nobody has
we've done
moved
shit
away
here and showed this
and
kind
shown
of shit.
the drop. No one's shown this toy boat disappearing like Damak has asked for, a demonstration of
Sky
an
Free
8-inch
showed it.
drop.
Sky Free showed a boat disappearing.
Dude, instead of yapping with your fucking lame mouth, just post it, because I don't believe a fucking word you said.
Hold on, Dan.
You ain't seen the Sky Free boat thing? Hold on, B-ball. You ain't seen the Sky Free boat thing?
Does it show what I'm asking? Is it show the progressive nature of something moving away from you and becoming obscured from the bottom up? Remember, this is about bottom up obstruction, and whether or not that's caused by the curvature of the earth or by your field of view being too narrow.
I can show you that.
I mean, when Sky Free did it, when Sky Free did the toy boat one, it was awesome because it showed exactly what you're saying.
Dude, you can't count to 6. What the fuck am I listening to you for?
Dan. That was a mistake in what the stripes.
You're fucking idiot. What are you trying to say?
Hold on. I'm saying Sky Free did this.
Jeremy says another fucking word.
Just hold on, Dan. Sky Free did this and showed what you're asking for.
You're not fucking posting that.
Hold on, man.
Because you're a fucking asshole.
How long does this have to? We can't hear.
You gotta relax, Dan. Come on, bro.
Yeah, me and the group in the car here, or like, what are we?
The only reason I haven't freaked out yet is because I'm high as fuck. So, like, you gotta chill out, bro.
Useless. Hey, B-ball, let me talk to you about these 2 images. They're both interesting. Number one, I've had a hard time coming up with anything valuable. In the end, I'm going to talk about magnification at some point to try and explain something, but I have no explanation for the aircraft landing. I do have something to talk to you about the other one, though, because it shows something like between 2 and 8 miles or something, 10 miles. And the flat Earth error has been looking at everything as if we were a 6-foot observer. Most of our observations,
I'm not in that. I'm not in that error.
most of our observations are from a roadside plus a tripod or a pier. And both the road and pier is going to be a closer to 18 and 20 foot elevation. Therefore, the obstruction isn't going to happen at 2 and 3 miles. It's going to happen at 7 and 8 miles. And that's been the biggest error for me, where I've been going, hey, what the fuck? Suddenly it's dropping out there where you're amongst obstruction of atmospheric obstruction. Yet it does meet the expectation based on the height. In other words, the curvature of the Earth gets further away when you're standing at elevations. And most of the time we are, where we're emotionally thinking 6 foot or 1 foot observer. But in fact,
I have a question. Uh, um, no matter what the shape is, when you get away from an object, move away from the object, why does the bottom appear to be getting blurry or wavy before the top?
angle.
Whether you're on a flat surface or a curved surface, why would that bottom layer appear to be getting curvy and wavy before the top does?
Temperature.
It's not necessarily
Temperature coming
curvy
off
and
the
wavy.
water.
It's an unresolved angle.
You can see it on the road,
before
Yeah,
right?
heat.
The temperature.
unresolvable is a good word. Unresolvable is
heat.
a good word. You're not getting the information. It's wavy looking. It's blurry. It's like heat haze. But the information is not getting to the viewer first from the bottom up, whether you're on a curved surface or a flat surface. You agree with that?
So yeah. So what would it look like if it was curved though?
Yeah. Can we answer my question first?
Depending on just what Jeremy said, temperature would affect that. Yeah.
Okay. So on a flat surface, if the temperature was X, the bottom would be obstructed bottom up first, right?
No, it would just be blurry.
Okay, it would get blurry, which means it's obstructed. You're not getting the information to the viewer.
It wouldn't just go down though. It would stay in the same height.
I didn't say anything about going up or down. I said the bottom gets blurry first, unresolvable. The information is getting obstructed. Whatever's obstructing it is in the debate scene. But we all can agree that the bottom is getting obstructed first, no matter if it's on a curved surface or a flat surface, right?
Yeah, but there's a difference between it being unresolvable and it being literally obstructed.
Okay, on both surfaces that would be the true. I agree with you. But nonetheless, the bottom gets obstructed, unresolvable by the viewer, no matter what his height is. The distance would play a part then, and the conditions would play a part. But on any surface, flat or sphere, round, curved surface, the bottom gets obstructed first, correct?
No, there wouldn't be, because it wouldn't be. First, the two things would happen, right? Number one, it wouldn't go down, right? Number two, it wouldn't be obstructed.
So you're saying Pebbles on the Pond and all those people who did it over flat surfaces are not doing it right or not telling the truth?
In the South. From the South, they should be able to see a lit casino and the masts of boats in the harbor. And nobody tries to do that as a flat earther. That's embarrassing.
I think honestly, man, there's no point looking at things in the distance, because you guys are gonna interpret it one way and we're gonna interpret it another.
So let's all agree then that Nat Geo sucks ass, and that's a problem. Can we work together? Can both sides of the flat Earth argument work together for truth towards media, or is that a lie?
Yeah, we agreed that Nat Geo wasn't a good example.
Right. I'm asking, can we work together on anything, or is that a lost cause? Because you and I have passions that we could apply if we do this right. In other words, when I took this shit to the streets, it was to bring the argument to the actual street, outside of globies and flatties.
What would we do, Dan? What do you propose? Besides looking at the horizon and trying to find obstruction or curvature or whatever, what else could we do? Because obviously that doesn't work.
It would seem that there's a missing agency of news verification or something that we used to call news. News is no longer asked or required to have accuracy. And the fact that there is no such thing is freaky, weird, and unsettling to me, that I can't go verify something. You know, I just heard that ODD was arrested this year for bank robbery. And it looks to be true, but I'm having a great deal of time identifying that. It was July 25th. It was in a Canadian bank. It looks like there's images of him, and it looks like he's been arrested.
And I don't know why you'd even try to hit a bank. Like, that just seems so dangerous. How many people rob banks and actually get away with it?
With
That
no
number's gotta
disguise.
be
With no
very small,
disguise.
no?
With no disguise.
The shit still happens, man. You'd be surprised.
Yeah,
But
but how
did
many
it-
people, like, what's their arrest rate? I'm guessing their arrest rate is through the roof on bank robberies. So, like, they're probably like, I doubt, like, you think half the people succeed?
The question is, though,
Depends.
could I find the docs? And if I didn't, which I looked yesterday, is that my error, my inability to find them? I asked AI to look, and there is no arrest record showing. I mean, there's no conviction of any kind showing. It appears he might be in custody. But the point is finding out for real. Let's say you came in cold, like Jeremy was saying, and you were curious about Nat Geo.
I just wouldn't use that. I would look at that. I would look at that and be like, okay, well, that looks. But I would find other better examples.
Well, you wouldn't
just
look at all. You would listen, and you
No, I
go,
would
"Yeah,
look
they
at-
proved it. They proved
that-
Earth's curvature right there."
No, that wouldn't be enough for me. Sorry.
Can you
And then
speak into the
okay, Dan,
microphone,
you show
please?
someone that, right? And they're like, okay, but what about this one? And they whip out B-Ball's picture.
I think the flat earthers need to understand that their perspective isn't always from 1 and 6 feet. Most perspectives are at 20 feet. Therefore, the expectation of a drop is not only out at 7 and 8 miles, it's dramatic already. It's not just starting. It's already well into a vertical, where the vertical is more. I think the flat earthers need to understand that their perspective isn't always from 1 and 6 feet. Most perspectives are at 20 feet. Therefore, the expectation of a drop is not only out at 7 and 8 miles, it's dramatic already. It's not just starting. It's already well into a from a 6-foot observer. So we're wrong in our expectation, Flutter.
It would be like,
Hey, I'm not in that week. I'm not in that weekend.
Okay, well, the point is we shouldn't be looking 7 and 8 miles away because there's too much obstruction, like Rakia was saying. It happened at 2 and 3 miles is only going to happen from a 6-foot observer. So we're wrong in our expectation, Flutter.
But it would be like.
Hey, I'm not in that week. I'm not in that week, Dan.
Okay, well, the point is we shouldn't be looking 7 and 8 miles away because there's too much obstruction, like Rakia was saying. There's too much shit on the surface at that angle, at that point, before heat, before moisture.
But right now, in this moment in time, B-Ball cannot think of any way for this to happen. That's what you should be saying.
Yeah, except for if the Earth was a globe. That works. That explains it.
I hear you.
You can't deny that. You can't deny
I'm not
that.
denying that. Doesn't mean there's no other way it could happen, though. If it was
But
flat.
why not? Why are you? But that should be enough. That should be like, you know what? Yeah, there's no other way.
No, that's stupid. That's how you get yourself in the weird predicaments of thinking you know something, but it's actually wrong.
Then you're going to be in this forever. Then, Jeremy.
No, dudes like you walk around thinking phlogiston is real.
What the hell is that?
It's a thing they used to thought that for fire can't. It's not important, dude. If you start thinking these things like you're thinking now, you're going to end up thinking wrong shit in the future.
Listen, if you guys come up with another model that explains it better, then yeah. But then you have to explain everything else even better.
I don't know. Okay, you got me, B-ball.
Yeah.
Not a boat or I mean, do you have a measurement device of some kind you could use?
Yeah, I say that if we use an above a third reference point, whether it be a drone, a bridge tower, or something else stable from above, that then you're no longer using the center of the
Like
to
I said,
measure the line across a distance.
nobody wants to look at anything else than this 8-inch drop. You're stuck.
Yeah, okay, so that's what we want to see.
Sorry
We
to
see that
make
water drops away from the horizontal 8 inches per mile squared as claimed.
Yep.
Earth is life. You're saying it's everywhere around you, but you can't provide a measurement of it.
I literally provided 2 of them. And that's why I asked the question, like, what would it look like if things were dropping?
And what did you measure it
You
with
guys
then?
agreed. And you guys agreed. Yes, it would look like things were being obstructed. Okay. Okay, here they are. Here's things being obstructed gradually over distance.
Yeah,
Here's
but you don't
another
know if
example.
that's actual. You don't know if that's actual or optical. So
Well, it looks damn near like as I would expect over a curved surface.
Okay,
Yeah,
listen, I'm going to
something-
give you an assignment. B-ball, listen, check it out. I'm having
Things
to
got
explain
homework.
this as well, right? So let's say in the formula that causes refraction, we include all these factors: heat, temperature, moisture, pressure. The end result is a refractive property that we're applying. One of the results that we're not talking about is a known anomaly known to you as the atmospheric a distortion known as magnification. There's also something called demagnification. And I believe that we're going to find that it's missing from our formula. For instance, let's say the whole fucking image is magnified by only twice. I think the math has to be affected that way as well. So our lack of recognition of the word and known anomaly of atmospheric refraction causing both magnification and possibly in different settings, demagnification needs to be taken into consideration, particularly in some of those ships where you see the steam, whatever you call the top, where it looks like the T-shaped tail of a plane. It's just so big in the distance. Same thing with those power props and stuff, the power generators. They're so big in the distance, it doesn't make sense. If you're having enough distance for drop, it should be smaller as well. So I believe magnification needs to be looked into for us to explain why the math is wrong, because clearly the math seems to be wrong when investigating line of sight. So in the case of the airport, I'm hoping something's magnified, causing the obstruction. I could be wrong, of course, but I'm really asking you to look into the words magnification and demagnification in terms of formula. If we could prove it's there, wouldn't that affect the distance formula? And could I be wrong? Is it just causing reflection? In other words, are we just literally seeing over the surface in a tunneling effect? Is there any form of tunneling? Now, this is a great example, people. And I've shown you this, and Sydney did it on the wall with an ashtray. Is foreground obstruction is dramatic in the distance, and when you're this close to the surface, you're actually getting waves. Now, let's just forget the word waves, and I'm going to ask you to imagine a brand new conversation again. Swell, what we call storm surge in larger things, exists. The shape of the coastline is going to cause a rise, and I think we're not taking that into consideration in this type of shot, that what I would call it into a bay. You have the ocean, open ocean, in the middle of the Pacific coming into a bay, and you're not measuring that, and you can see it. So I think both you're too low to accurately see across because of the amount of swell coming in. That maybe what I would call akin to a storm surge, where clearly the elevation is changing at the coast.
Yeah, it's not a storm surge. There's no storm.
I know, I was equating it to that so you'd understand what I meant by swell.
So would it look the same if it was curved though?
I don't know. I'm trying to explain what I'm seeing. The other one's even better, that landing plane. I did find an anomaly in that. It has to do with the height of the tail of the planes on the ground that you see, and I believe the magnification there on the other one. This one, I'm not interested in this one because you're actually getting the waves in the shot.
Well, this is cropped. This is not like a full shot. This is cropped.
I just understand, but you're going to claim to be over 6 feet above the water, and you're clearly not with the spray crossing in front.
I'll post the actual video. That way you can.
You're not 10 feet off the water like you're claiming. If you are, these are massive waves.
Okay. I'll post the actual video.
Okay, so just answer me now. Could wave obstruction cause some blockage at the surface?
Not if I'm not at the surface. No.
Well, it did in Nat Geo, right? Half the stripe's missing most of the time. Yeah, it just so happens to match the size of the waves. Little 3-inch waves, little 4-inch waves, little 5-inch waves.
The video. There you go.
So you're not going to convince me that shot's from 10 feet or above with that much spray coming across the camera.
You can see how high above the water the actual runway is, right?
Are you in France now? Where are we?
No, just by the thumbnail, you can see how high above the water the actual runway is.
Let me blow that fucker up. Oh.
But yeah, I'm probably about 10 to 15 feet above the water because I'm on the beach. I'm like on the side of the beach.
Okay, so the only thing I can do to pick apart that shot
is to try and find the height of the tail. I remember, I don't see it in your view, but there's another plane at the end of the runway, and I think the confusion for me is going to be the difference between the A320 and the A380. They're not the same height, the tail, on the ground. Because I'm trying to establish how much you see when they're on the ground. So I'd have to go back to that original shot where you can see the other plane on the ground and try and establish what we're seeing. Because if I recall, I did find an anomaly from left to right. If you have the full image of that French thing, that would be cool.
The French thing?
The plane landing left to right.
Oh,
I believe that's in France.
just if you scroll up, I think it's still there.
It's just not the full shot. It's your version of it. It's your edit. It's your edit.
You talking about the GIF that I sent?
It's a 2-minute video here. I don't know. Let me see.
The GIF of the plane landing?
All I'm asking is, do you have the original? Because I'm looking for the plane at the end of the runway.
Wait, are you talking about my video or the one where the plane is landing?
Never mind. I'll look at your gift, dude. I don't want to complicate your life.
I'll repost it. This one.
Yeah, there's not as much obstructed as it seems. The tail remains visible. It also is going away from us more than just left to right, but the tail remains visible. So I'm going to ask what the distance is here and what the expectation of drop is.
I don't know the distance of this one.
And what blows me away is the other plane runway whose tails we can see. And I'm going to look close. There, it looks like I can see the top of some fuselages. Get an idea of how much is actually obstructed and see if that matches the prediction of the globe. That's what I would ask, to be honest. And I think you're capable. And I think I'm capable of accepting it otherwise. So I need to know the distance here.
Well, on mine, the distance of the runway is probably about 10 miles, 9 or 10 miles. And I'd say to the end of the runway is probably about 12.
That would make almost sense. That means the obstruction would be between 16 and 18 feet, which is about what that's showing.
I can tell you exactly how you measure on Google Earth.
That's assuming that the top of the tail is over 20 feet up there, which it is, for sure. But with the end of the runway, there's some bigger tails right there sticking up. And they're either magnified or something's unusual with foreground and how many runways. Because the planes on the ground there, you're seeing more tail than the plane that landed. So I'd have to even look for an elevation difference from tarmac to runway here. See all those tails sticking up? Something's wrong. There's planes in the distance. You can see the whole tail. Ooh, look at the tower. Did you see that? Look at the tower. You can see the bottom of the tower. Well, that could be elevated too. Yeah, we'd have to check the ground elevations on this stuff, dude. Because look, there's stripes on the smokestack thingies. You can measure the shit. Oh,
Kind of looks concave in that one.
I almost thought I saw a mirror line. There is a mirror line.
It's right here.
Us.
So, Dan the Waterman, what evidence do you actually have for the globe Earth?
I guess Jaron Campanella is.
Dan's not a globe earther.
But I
Yeah,
would
he
say,
is.
I know somebody that went to Antarctica and disproved the northern projection flat earthers were clinging to.
So, Earth is Life just said that you're not a globe earther. Would you agree with that statement, Dan?
I don't know what you want. I mean, I've been a flat earther. It's just flat earth has just kind of turned into a piece of shit around me. There's no truth movement in it. I made a pretty big mistake.
I see. Okay.
But I'm not a pussy. I'm still going to say I'm a flat earther. I'm just going to call the rest of them retards like everyone else does.
Well, at least you know.
I have no use for the religious flat. They're fucking living in a fantasy. And unfortunately, I fell in to a group of fantasizing people who I thought were out. I mean, surprisingly, the people around me physically, we went out to go check. That's why you hear me talking about this shit all the time. We went out to go check. We didn't just watch YouTube and talk about it. We went out time and time to go find out what the fuck is going on. I went into the street to talk to people and say, what the fuck is going on? and presented with simple mathematics, flat earthers aren't very interested in hearing something. I mean, I'm going to say this because I got into it with Issa the other day. I go, if you say you don't know, like, what if you don't know on purpose? When you go, hey, we don't know the shape of the earth, you know, it's like, what if you're doing that on purpose just to keep it chill? And I think flat earthers are capable of that, of being willfully ignorant. And I'm really bummed out at that because I thought we were clever and smart and stuff. But being willfully ignorant isn't cool. And just blocking people who bring forth things like mathematics, or even B-ball probably gets blocked everywhere he goes, you know, if he goes into flat earth places. B-ball, we should talk about this plane thing again, because we're going to see doors. I got to find the elevations here.
I think there is an actual video that I took that from. I'll have to search for it.
There has to be. First of all, there's another runway too. Remember? Other one, you can see the lights of it to the right. So there's more shit to look at here, more tarmac and stuff.
Yeah, I have to search for the actual video. Probably better quality.
So I think I have good arguments on both sides, you know, of the globe argument, so to speak. I just have no use for the behavior and fantasy that contrarians pretending to be flat earthers. Here's the thing. I think people that were dissatisfied with their existing state of mind and their church and stuff found flat earth very comfortable because there were no rules. They could say, oh, this is my version of Christianity and I'm over here. And I think they found a very good comfort zone where they were normally ostracized from their friends, their family, and their churches. They were normally being told to get in line elsewhere. And flat earth didn't do that. So these insane characters have built their careers like charlatan priests. You know, come follow me because I know what's up. And they don't.
Yeah.
And worse, they might, and they're not telling us. So I'm kind of furious about how ignorant we were about the AE map being a possibility as a model, because it was adorable in that concept. Everyone can admit it's pretty cute, but it's not. It's a northern perspective. It's not accurate, and we should have addressed the southern stars and that reality a lot sooner.
Yeah, because when you actually look at it, I mean, even from the beginning, it didn't make any sense.
You think the stars dictate the shape of the Earth?
Well,
No,
they
but
say one
it debunks the clockwise sun that we had depicted on top of the AE.
right.
So the map is bunk. Big deal. All maps are flat though.
Yeah, I mean,
Cool,
even if
cool. Phrase
but
number
you can-
one,
you can-
flat earthers. Point for flat earther. If
Right.
you're going to fold something up and put it in your pocket, it better not be.
all maps are flat. Yep, that debunks it, right?
All maps are flat, but there is no flat Earth map.
Right.
Ooh,
Oh.
nice. There's a song.
Yeah,
Do you have a response to that, Rob?
You can cut a 1 inch by 1 inch square out of a beach ball. It's flat too, right?
Rob, do you have a response to any of these things?
What, words? You want me to respond with words or a map? You want me to give you a map of the entire Earth? Is that what you want me to do?
Well, I mean, that's a
I'm not
pretty
gonna
big
do
hole
that.
in your model.
Yeah.
If all maps are flat, but there's no flat Earth map, that's a pretty big
Yeah,
problem
yeah.
for you.
It's not a big problem for me. I've lived 46 years on this Earth without an entire map of the world. It's not necessary for me to live on the Earth.
What about this map right here? Why are the latitude lines like?
Yeah, why? Yeah, why?
curving?
Good question.
Why are the latitude lines curving in the opposite direction?
Why are those lines on a map?
Why are they
that
curving?
are-
in the opposite direction?
yeah, because somebody drew them like that.
So they don't depict what's actually on the surface of the Earth.
Yeah,
Hey,
do you go
Paul.
on Earth and see latitude and longitude lines on the Earth?
I don't think so, but I mean, we kind of use
No, I don't think so.
How come the latitude lines converge, but the longitude lines don't?
Out here in reality, I don't see any latitude or longitude lines on the Earth. Thank you.
right, but this would make sense if the Earth was a globe, don't you think? I mean, when I think about it, it makes sense.
Yeah, you also think a water level curves, so I could give a fuck.
No, no, we're not talking about a water level. We're talking about a map, though. We're not talking about water levels. That's a different topic. This would
Also,
make. Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say also there is no such thing as a spherical globe Earth, mapping it out and then making it identical but on a flat version. There's going to be major distance discrepancies, regardless of 2 pole, 1 pole, however pole you want to do it, because the consequence on a flat map is you're going to have these 4 corners that are so much distance apart, and you can't translate that and wrap it around the globe and maintain those same distances.
Correct.
For example, the Gleason map, it is a quote globe projection, but the Gleason map, the size of Antarctica is not equal to the size of the glober's Antarctica. For example, the dual pole flat Earth, the outer edges of it is the Pacific Ocean. That distance around the Pacific Ocean does not equal what it is on the globe. There is no way to get. I'm just repeating myself again.
Yeah, there's no way to map a flat surface onto a globe without distortions, or vice versa. If it was flat, it'd be a 1-to-1 scale. There'd be no distortions at all.
And there's different kinds of distortions. There's visual distortions as your eye see it, like seeing on a piece of paper. But the distortions that I'm talking about is distance distortions.
Right.
Actual distance distortions, the literal measurable distance, not how we visualize it on paper, but how it has to be. Okay, anyways, that's all.
No, you're good, man. Yeah, we had this conversation the other day. I mean, that would be something that would need to be addressed, but that no one ever really wants to address. We just always come back to looking at the horizon and talking about refraction and talking about obstruction, and prime example. If you're looking for, if you're still trying to find out the shape, maybe looking at the horizon obstruction isn't the thing to do because no one really agrees on what refraction is, what refraction does. Just then move to something else. Look at the star movement. Look at distances in the southern hemisphere. They all match what would be predicted on the globe. Then you would have to say, well, they're obviously lying to us about the distances. I don't think you can't lie about distances because if an airplane takes off from one location to another location and gets there in a certain amount of time, driving a certain amount of speed, then we know the distance.
It's one thing to lie about distances, like distance to the moon. They could have lied about the moon landing. They could have gone to the moon, but the distance is not actually what they say it is. It's one thing to lie about that, where 8 people have gone, or 8 times we've gone. But another thing to lie about distances on the Earth, where I don't know about you or me, but there's thousands of planes and boats going every which way with hundreds of people on them.
Right, and yeah, I agree. They definitely could have lied about the distance to the moon, distance to the sun. That's totally agree with that.
So hypothetically saying it has to be a globe does not equal, therefore the sun's 93 million miles away and the sun's 1,000 times bigger than the Earth. And there's individual steps that one can make to get to the, you don't have to do all or nothing. You could realize in one way or another, and I could be wrong here, I'm just speaking hypothetically, you could realize it has to be spherical. Concave spherical, globe spherical, and you can disregard everything else. The moon landings and relativity and going to space. Space could be fake in the globe, but the world can still be a globe.
So you know what? Maybe I was wrong.
You know what's worse? It's hard to replace. I'm attached to it still. So if you consciously go to find another quote unquote belief, it's kind of gross now. It's like finding another religion. It's like going to a different church. It's not very comfortable consciously. I was fine with it subconsciously, but I didn't think it was a belief. I was subconsciously believing flat Earth. Consciously, I was all about the science and the interaction and people, but I would have said it had nothing to do with belief and argued that. I was wrong. And I would have also told you it wasn't religious. I was also wrong about it. But the joy of flat Earth, like making people think and getting lame people triggered is still fun.
Right.
But lying about it's not. That's why I talk about Nat Geo, because there's, it's honest.
And one thing I will say that I thank Flat Earth for is making me think about it. Because before it, I had no fucking idea about any of this stuff. Didn't know how big the Earth was. Didn't know about the sun, the moon. I didn't know any of that shit.
We've taught you tons of stuff over the years. Yes, you're welcome, people.
No, I mean,
you fought us tooth and nail the whole way, but you're welcome. We helped you.
Yes, I will. Thank you for making me fucking research shit. Thank you.
You're welcome for teaching you. You're welcome.
Yep.
But integrity would have been a lot nicer had we maintained integrity.
We could have done it with a little less over talking people.
Jeremy, stop. Everyone fucking overtalks.
Yeah, but you're wild with it.
I mean, when you're in a normal conversation, right? Like when you're standing around in person, people are gonna do that. And on here, it's kind of hard because everyone wants to get in and talk, and then 2 people are talking at once. It's kind of hard because someone pauses and you think they're done and they're not done.
I've never overtalked anyone ever. I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, Jeremy.
Bro, it happens. I know. I'm just saying, like, you don't think there's different levels of it though?
I think some people do it more than others. Yes.
You are at the fucking pinnacle of the overtalking Discord Flat Earth arena.
No, I'm not.
You're on a mountain. You're like the John Stockton of assists in this bitch.
I would say fucking NASA show is probably worse.
Oh. Don't know.
So I'm going to post a little picture of that they tried to use the same day as Nat Geo to replicate the helicopter because they didn't have a helicopter. So they tried to raise balloons. And in their documentary, they claimed that you couldn't see the balloons till they were 34 feet in the air. They also claimed that they would share the footage of them rising into view. In fact, we saw them on the ground. That's not the point here. But what they did show in their documentary, on the left, you'll see balloons here. Yet there's a mirror line. So they're actually mirrored. They actually appeared above a mirror line, is why they couldn't see them until they were 34 feet up. So it's just interesting how confusing all of it is when you now have mirroring and miraging on top of refracting and distorting and almost every fucking light word possible we can shove in there. It's fantastic. But there is distortion at the surface. It's often a mirror line of what's above. So the shore being mirrored in the distant water.
Yeah, I'll definitely say that they fucked that up royally. And I don't doubt that actually probably made people more cling more towards Flat Earth because of this. They could have done a lot better job.
And Nat Geo, because we were in there, knew to cut this out. But these IIG West guys didn't cut it out. They kept it in there. And also, I remember those guys doubled down, claiming they have footage, but they don't. I'll paste that too. And I've challenged Jaron to get up their ass, make him show the footage he says he has. He's not going to have it. He's just not going to have it.
It would be cool if another like entity would recreate this and do a better job. That'd be cool.
There were multiple entities there. Sure, you could do it better. To be honest. Sure.
Regarding this mirroring thing, supposedly the science behind it is light hitting a surface and reflecting back to the observer at specific angles that it creates this mirroring effect. One thing, so we've all naturally heard of this, like, in the desert, you're far away, you see like water somewhere, and someone that's really thirsty starts running towards it, and there's no water to be found. So and then I don't know if you guys ever realize, like, when you're driving on a road, very regularly can you see this mirroring thing happening in front of you. One thing I noticed is that these mirroring of things tend to happen inside of like indentations, like potholes and dips. And one recent thing I saw, I'm not saying it's a discovery, I just saw, you think, oh, it's just because of the sun. Well, you can actually see it at night as well. You could go drive at night, get your eye down on the road, and as you're driving, preferably a really new road where it's not like perfectly smooth, you'll start seeing these mirroring things happening at night. So I don't know what's going on with this mirroring thing that's happening semi-regularly at the edge of the horizon. At least in concave Earth, it happens regularly there because they're claiming that light's literally bending up, and the Earth's concave, so there's dipping everywhere, and like there's a sweet spot at the upwards curve of the light that creates this effect all the way over there at your horizon regularly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what all is going on, but this mirroring thing is it's kind of interesting.
Beerman claims that you'll get that the puddles, what looks like puddles in the distance, is it maximizing refraction, causing reflection, then re-refracting into the next and doing it again and again. And I think that maybe some of our confusion has to do with these combinations of effects, and we're thinking it's just refraction. It's like, it's not. There's more things going on.
Previously in the past, I tried to Google and see if I could find this mirroring thing on the ground, but on a specific like convex dip in the road, because everything I said so far were dips in the road, or concave dips in the road. I don't have an example of it. I was able to find one with a clear convex part of the road, but one thing I don't see happening on convex is multiple mirrorings, or like mirroring, or like a strip of mirroring, and then a little bit you can see the road again, or the water again, and a little bit more mirroring. That I only see with concave, so I don't know what's going on.
Boom. Right there is where it changed. So I'm telling you, conditions didn't change. Is he banged it into the water? So that's not conditions suddenly. Like my compadres on this think that was a cold air. They think that the weather made that happen.
I think
it's dived into the water.
It's the sagittate of the lens. It's like all those rays, if you just projected them out, that's where they're going to crash first. Does that make sense? Like almost like like if you think about the lens as it's a projector, it's pushing out that curvature. That's gonna tell you like where you're gonna hit bullshit. Does that make sense?
If it came from anyone else, maybe.
All right.
I'm a little sick of hearing GM fucking accuse me of jumping you when you jumped me. Could you set him straight, please? He keeps claiming you're just a little guy. You're just a little guy, and I abused you. And I abused you. Tell him. I have you telling the story.
I got nothing to do.
You need a link. Let me know. But if you'd set him straight, that would be nice.
You understand?
I'm a little tired of him pretending you're a victim. A little tired of that. little tired of that victimhood bullshit.
No, you're a doxer. You're a real terrible person. But I'm just making a optical comment here, and if you could just keep
I
it to
smoke
there,
weed in your
that'd be
general
helpful.
direction.
Mostly because you're trying to like solve a problem that I'm trying to help you with, and yeah, you don't need to treat hostility with that. I don't think.
Just asking you to set someone straight. That too much? Honesty too much? Too much for a little flat earth self? This dude's a total liar. This guy says he has the. What a fucking asshole.
Yeah, but if you think of the curvature of that lens, the crown glass of whatever lens you're using is going to be what's projected out. You'd be crashing into the ground.
Then how is it, when adjusted, how is it making past it this crashing into the. How is it suddenly shining in your face a second?
I'm saying the bottom of it. It's just the angle that it's going to hit. It's dependent. Like every lens is designed a little differently. You're using P900s, P1000s, something like that. Pretty much all the time, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. Never touched a P900.
I mean, who? Okay, I don't know who's. I think Wendell was using a P900 or P1000.
Well, at least you're thinking. That's nice of you.
Because yeah, they were.
Can you count to 6? So the whole point of Nat Geo is that this observer should have a different observation than the guy standing next to him at 5 feet. 1 feet and 5 feet should measurably see something different.
Right.
And
So
that didn't
I'm
happen.
just saying, like, as the haze creeps up off the water of the Salton Sea, they just had to wait for the right time to where the curvature, the sagittal of that lens profile is going to crash into that haze, and then it's going to appear that it's disappearing from the bottom up.
None of that happened. The bottom's visible the whole time.
It's trick photography, really. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's the narrative that's wrong. The images are accurate. All the images are accurate. Every fucking one of them. There it is. The stripes never disappeared one at a time of the bottom one. That's it. Those are the waves. Each elevation, each observer, and each distance appeared the same. And when you say the flag's all wavy, and I've supplied plenty of images of it in the foreground, 5 feet away, 5 feet away from me, being wavy and distorted, because it's just not pulled taut to begin with. So that's not due to the image. So I don't know what else we're going to do to as long as the narrative can do this. Forget the shoreline. They're claiming obstruction while you could see the shoreline. So what the Globers should be discussing is how is that possible? And there would have to be another lifted refracted image behind the globe surface.
I'm with you, Dan, though. I never saw obstruction on the sign. Now, the shoreline might be obstructed, where you're not getting each granule of sand or seeing the beach or whatever they claim that there is being obstructed, or the helicopter even, or whatever.
Yeah, but that's just about one of the most messed up places you ever want to be. In terms of atmosphere, it's like there's like 15 layers of different shit happening above you. So it's a junction point for a bunch of different winds, and I think probably some of the most unique cloud situations I've ever seen in my life. Right there.
Well, I don't know Dan Waterman's position, bro. Like I'm getting mixed signals. Is he a glober? Is he a flat earther? I mean, is he bisexual? Like, what's going on, dude?
I'm a flat
Ryan
earther,
wants
but
to
the
ask
earth
about
isn't flat. I'm a flat earther, but the earth isn't flat. You get it?
like mountains and valleys.
I mean, do you get the problem there? I've been a flat earth,
Maybe he's above
That's pretty
earther.
clear cut, Lion. He's a flat earther, but the earth isn't flat. I mean, what else do you need?
Sounds like dialetheism.
What can I do? I mean, I'm holding and showing you the best flat earth evidence we have. Me and my friends collected the best flat earth. Look, there's a shark breaching right in this shot. Right? If you guys could see, I'm sharing. The shark breached right in the middle of their shot.
Shout out to Shark Week.
It's totally.
Hang on, Dan. Dan, I totally agree with you. I'm a flat earther, but I live in the Rocky Mountains. The mountains are not flat.
Okay, well, you found a cute little technicality that's allowed us as flat earthers to win a lot of arguments. But it didn't make the AE good. It didn't make the AE good. And the AE. Well, unfortunately, we were comfortable. I was comfortable using it as a potential model for how the flat Earth would be encompassed by an ice ring. Remember the ice ring?
From Game of Thrones? You're talking about from Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I never seen an ice ring except on that stupid map.
Yeah, it happens as a result of the projection.
I mean, I could be in your lead right there. I was comfortable with the AE map. I still am.
I'm with you too, actually. It's not like it's any more wrong than the Mercator or globe projection. It's built out of the same shit. That we don't really have another way to do cartography unless we're like trying to use shadows and time, and you know what I mean? It's pretty dubious trying to chart all this stuff in scale, man. And then time at like, I don't know, time helps a lot to just like figure out where distances might be. Like when the sun rises or some shit, you know what I mean? Like I don't know how they were doing it back in the day, man. They weren't using no fucking Swatch watches.
Straight up.
Why would you? I mean, I would time it with like sun up or something somewhere, and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's.
I don't know, man. Like, what else do you use?
Yo, I was thinking.
Go ahead.
Lion said
Right
he still
now.
tells time with sand, so we'll go ahead.
So what? You guys seen the umbrella one, right? The sombrero projection.
You only like
Not
that one
umbrella,
because you're
sombrero.
Spanish, bro. I know.
Is that genetic fallacy?
No, it's not that. No, but what if the up is universal, right? Down is universal. It's not relative. It's not subjective. It doesn't flip flop, right? Up is an orientation, right? So horizontal is an orientation. You understand? Like, no matter where you are in reality, up is up, dude. One way, dude. Right? Doesn't matter if you're in the bottom or the top of the globe. In their model, it's relative, right? Now, what if up is universal, right? But there's an elevation change from the center of the earth to the extremities of the earth. That there's a slight elevation change where as you start to go north, you're actually going ever so slightly higher and higher and higher, making it look like you're on a globe if you were to plot it out. But as you get to the Antarctic ice shelf, right, like the outer edges, maybe there is like a rise in elevation, but it's so far away that you won't be able to tell. It'll just make it look like.
And what's
like
level doing on this sombrero hat?
Well, no, I brought up the sombrero hat because in that projection,
I get the shape. Hold on, I get the shape, but what is level doing in this idea of we're on a mound?
Well, so I'm trying to tell you, level, right? It's still horizontal. It's still it's an orientation, right? Horizontal is an orientation, perpendicular to plumb, right? That still holds. The only difference is that there's elevation changes where you gotta understand they use mean sea level to make the globe projection.
I like where this is going. We're on a mound, and it actually is. But when you look one way, though, you could get a blockage. But what if you look a different way? You're saying we're on like a half a hemisphere, or like if you cut a ball in half, we'd be on like a ball
I think we're on a no. Think about think of the Earth, right? Like a giant mountain. The center of it being the summit, and then but it's
where's the top?
I'm just thinking this right now, dude. I've never thought of this before. I'm just thinking this right now. What do you mean? Where's the top?
I'm saying if you get to one side and the things are going the other way, you'd be able to see ridiculously farther.
No, you can't. Perspective still applies, dude. Just because there's drastic elevation change from the north to the extremities of the earth doesn't mean that perspective stops. You still have a limit of sight.
Yeah, but perspective to me is just geometry. That's where things are geometrically. Like when you go to the train tracks, they are where you see them. If you had a gun and you had a can way down the line on each side of the rails, like you aim where it is and shoot it, and because that's where it is. I don't know. You got like a different version of perspective or going or something, but to me, that's just geometry. It's just where things are.
Yeah, but a combination of perspective and atmospheric conditions and stuff like that is going to limit your vision, dude. You're not going to be able to see infinitely, even if the Earth was a mountain.
I hear that, but you would think if you were on top somewhere, you'd be able to see like way farther one way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just thought of it right now, dude. I don't even know if it makes sense.
It don't make sense.
I was just thinking, what if there was some type of elevation change where there was a slight deviation?
You look one way. You look one way. You're
Go
looking into the hill, and you look the other way. You're looking out from the hill. You know what I'm saying? Like go stand on the side of a hill and look one way. You're going to be looking at the hill. Look the other way. You're going to see mad far.
But you guys know what projection I'm talking about, though, right? Can somebody post that one? I don't know what it's called. I forgot.
I might have seen it before.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You get a 50 pack 8-hour ones, $15. So three of them, you're good all day. 3 goes into 50, 16 times. You're good for say $30. So $1 a day, you could probably keep a room heated.
I looked it up. I think where I'm at, it's like 15 cents per kilowatt hour. So you say it's 1,500 watts.
So like 20 cents.
So I mean, that's like
You don't have to run it. It's not going to run. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not going to be blowing through 15 watts. It'll have a temperature. They usually have like temperature sensors on them to where it's like, oh, when it hits fucking 80 degrees, shut off until it, you know what I'm saying? You have like a temperature setting on it, but
I mean,
it'll
the one I
probably
have
run a
might
lot
just
though.
suck, but it doesn't like